wonderful ham. Now picture this. It's time for Christmas lunch and right in front of you sits down a perfect glazed ham all the time.
The lamb sits down.
Just walks in and sits down. It's juicy, it's succulent, and the first bite takes you straight to ham heaven.
Does that happen to you often, David?
I didn't know there was a ham heaven.
Well, lucky for you, 9Honey's Jane DeGraff joins us now with her ultimate glaze guide. And a reminder, you can scan the QR code on your screen for all these recipes.
Take me to ham again, Jane.
Jane. Okay, we're choosing the right ham, first of all. How do you get the right one?
Okay, so you need to look for three things. First, you want to look for bone in, because if there's bone in your ham, it means it's Australian, it hasn't been imported, and then you'll get really good quality ham. The second thing you need to do is you need to choose the right size ham. This is the biggest mistake I see people making, is they go, let's go for the centrepiece, because it's something they get at home and this monster doesn't fit in their oven. And then what are you going to do? Because you can't cut it in half, it's got a bone in half. So make sure that you choose the right size ham. Know your oven, know how many people you're feeding. The general rule is 500 grams of ham per person. So a 5-kilo ham will feed 10 people. Yeah, but just make sure that you don't overkill and get that giant ham that doesn't fit in your oven. And then the third thing that you want to look for is a really good layer of fat, because if you're glazing your ham, it's actually the fat that melts into the meat and carries the flavour of the glaze into the meat. So in this case, fat is good because fat is flavour, so look for a good layer of fat.
All right, how can you prep your ham for the glaze?
All right, so the most important thing here is you need to take the rind off. Don't ever try and make this into crackling. It's always too wet to turn into crackling unless you have a crackling ham, which is a separate thing. So you want to get your finger, put it in between the fat and the skin and just push it so that it comes off, leaving the fat on so that you can score that and paint the glaze on. That's really important.
I'm sitting here with two vegetarians right now, by the way. Now to your favourite part, the glaze.
I know.
Take us through some of the best glazes.
Okay, the first thing you want to do is you'll need to score the fat so that all the beautiful glaze melts in. A lot of people do that cross-hatching pattern. Do it with a craft knife. It helps you get a nice even cut. But this year I've gone for stripes rather than the cross-hatching because it looks a little bit more modern. My favourite glaze this year, guys, wait for it, Aussiest ever, ginger beer and Vegemite. It sounds really weird, but it works incredibly well because what you're looking for is the saltiness and the sweetness, and ginger beer is already spiced as well as sweet. So if you mix those together with a bit of ginger and some mustard and some other spices and simmer it all down till you get a nice, thick, sticky glaze,
Jane's going to try some of this
all
now.
over and then you... Yeah, taste it. Make sure you get a bit of the glaze. It's incredible. It's sweet and salty and sticky.
Is it? I just got a bit of the glaze.
How?
Really?
It's good, yeah. Do you want some?
Yeah.
No.
How good is it? It's got all that umami layering from the Vegemite and then all the spices from the ginger beer, so it is amazing. The other thing I should say is when you're roasting your ham and all the juices drip into the tray, keep those to pour over the ham at the end. It doesn't matter if you're having your ham hot or cold the next day. Warm the juices, pour them over, and it is incredible because it's got all that Vegemite and ginger beer flavours in there. It's so good. I swear by it.
Yeah, the kids love their ham juice. What's the best way to store your leftover Christmas ham?
Okay, so when you take the rind off, it's important that you keep it because if you're going to put the ham back in the fridge, you lay the rind over the top to stop it drying out in the fridge. The other thing you need to do is get a ham bag or an old pillowcase. It's just a big cloth bag. Soak that, a ham bag. Soak it in some water and half a cup of vinegar and then put your ham in there when it's in the fridge because the vinegar will help the meat keep longer so you can keep your ham for up to 2 weeks in the fridge. It makes it go further, which is fantastic, and it's just the antibacterial quality of the vinegar means that you can keep it in the fridge and keep nibbling at it for a little while.
Do you have to put the ham bag in another bag to go in the fridge, or does it go in wet?
Like a Louis Vuitton handbag?
Okay, so you dunk it, you dunk the bag, wring it out so that it's not dripping, and then just put your ham in, sit it on a plate and sit it in the fridge. And if you re-soak it every couple of days and wring it out and put the ham back in, it will just mean that you can keep your ham that little bit longer. It stops it getting a funny texture and you can keep picking at it. The other thing I should say is if you are going to be keeping your ham after Christmas Day, don't leave it sitting on the table all day. Pop it into the fridge because the longer it sits out on the day, the less likely it will keep well in the fridge afterwards.
Well, you've gone to a winner here with Jane. She loved it. She loved the new glaze. She went for seconds and possibly thirds in the ad break. Use your QR code now and get the recipe on the screen or go to 9honey.com.au. Thanks, Jane. Merry Christmas to you, mate.